Welcome to another edition of The Hangover. I'm Scott Hunter alongside my co-host, The Muscle, here today.
That's right, Scott. I'm The Muscle, and I'm glad we're on the same page and we're doing things and we're pumping out A++ material once again.
I actually agree with you on that one.
No doubt.
And right now, we are in the midst of the tour of Smash Wrestling versus CZW, and today our guest on The Hangover, the owner of CZW, DJ Hyde. DJ, welcome.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Well, thank you for being here. I mean, this is a great opportunity for us to get a chance to chat with you and to chat a little bit of CZW here. Let's talk to us about the origins of CZW. Where the concept of CZW come from?
Oh, wow. That's a tough challenge. Well, I didn't create CZW. John Zandig did back in 1999. His vision at the time was monarched by ultra violence. I think he had a very similar vision that I do. Mine is a little bit different, but he had this something for everything type of feel to his show. When I first got to CZW, that was what I recognized, but it was over the top. It was fun. It was kind of outlaw, renegade. It was different, very much following in the tradition of Extreme Championship Wrestling,
right.
and kind of going from there.
And now it's very difficult for any wrestling promotion to sustain themselves for as long as CZW has. Nearly 20 years CZW's been around here. That's a tremendous accomplishment in and of itself there. So what have you done with CZW since becoming the owner of CZW to help it sustain itself throughout the years?
Well, one, I had a much different vision. Like I said, I want to remain true to what CZW's roots have always been, of that something
right.
for everybody.
Right.
But I believe in trying to build stories. And I believe that in order for anybody to really be successful in this industry, you have to do work. Things like this show, things like the promoting and doing the little behind the scenes. So building a team. When I first took over, I had a lot of different, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I went through a learning phase of where I transitioned from being just the wrestler and the guy traveling the planet to now where it's done other stuff that is like, oh, hey, I got to put the shows together. I got to actually run the business. And when you've been getting dropped on your head for about a decade plus at that point, wasn't an easy transition, and recognizing that the talent was not really behind me. They were my friends. They were the guys I was on the road with, traveling with, but they also are concerned about their careers and not about CZW.
Right.
And then it was a matter of, okay, how am I going to meld this and build it? So things like Smash versus CZW, it's been very successful. This is the second time we've done this. Obviously, if you've been out on the tour and you get to see this, the shows so far have been widely successful.
It's been a blast.
And fun. And I think it's bringing a little bit. It's not really bringing what I think CZW is known for. Obviously, we're known for the ultra violence. People have seen us in the Wrestler movie. They've seen the Vice documentaries, and they hear about Tournament of Death and Cage of Death. But things like this were how I grew it. I worked with companies called WXW in Germany. There's a multitude of companies I'm working with in the UK. We just did a tour of the UK in May with a group of our guys working with IPW. There's so much stuff going on, and now our next goal is television. We have partnered up with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which is Dave Marquez.
Yep.
I think anybody who follows Combat Zone Wrestling knows that. So my vision of what I want to do is build television to build to our bigger shows, tell the stories to get to the matches on TV, and give people an entertaining, fun TV product that is just something for everybody, whether you're a fan of classic wrestling, technical, high flying, whatever, above the limitations that we'll be able to. And I think that it's the main thing is that how we've been able to sustain, which is the original question, is the talent that we've produced, the talent that we've trained, guys like Drew Gulak and Adam Cole, and then you have guys, here we're in Canada, you have guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They're all of these guys. If you look at the guys that are at the top of our industry, they've all come through our company, or there's a handful of them that have been trained by yours truly and my team. So it's the way that we're going to keep going in, and we're going to keep going on as long as we can.
Well, and go ahead. Just out of curiosity, great stuff. DJ, your name is DJ.
Yes.
Is there any relation to DJ Khaled? Just because I don't know. I just wanted to.
I don't think it's.
Well, let the man answer the
First names aren't. That's not how.
That's not how it works, man.
Wait, so no relation, not to DJ Khaled,
No,
nothing
no.
like. Okay,
No, enjoy his work, but
you answered a lot. A
No
question that was
relation.
on a lot of people's
I mean,
minds. All right, no doubt.
okay.
No doubt.
Just, if that's what the fans want to know and the people want to know.
There it is.
That's what Muscle wants to know.
There it is, folks.
But I do love the fact that you brought up the fact that there's something for everybody in CZW, because when we announced that CZW was coming back to do a joint tour with Smash Wrestling again, we actually had a fan reach out to Smash Wrestling, and the thing the fan said was, if they're not bringing weed whackers, it's bullshit. And I think you guys, it's worth pointing out to people, you guys are so much more than just the death match. You guys have evolved through. That's part of it, of course.
Again, how can I word this? Perception.
Right, absolutely.
Perception is reality. So what you see at the top, you have a show like Tournament of Death that has a Vice documentary that has been seen by millions and millions. It's been viral 17 times over. And you see that, and when you think CZW, you think the Necro Butchers and the Matt Tremonts and all these guys that have, come and they bleed because I bleed black and yellow. And yes, that is part of what I do, and that is part of what CZW does. But on the other end, we have shows like Best of the Best.
Right.
Guys like Sammy Callahan, Adam Cole have come from that. You have guys like Mike Quackenbush, Super Dragons, and I mean, now if you're looking at the current reigning defending Best of the Best champion, David Starr, last year Jonathan Gresham, these are CZW guys. I mean, they're built. The CZW World Champion is Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He's not a deathmatch guy. I mean, he's
right.
Exactly what you would if you're picturing a guy that go to WWE. That's it. The Rep. They're not deathmatch guys. Even the CZW Wired Champion right now is Zachary Wentz, and Zach's not a guy who you see out there. He's out there having these great matches. Our WrestleMania weekend was headlined by Desmond Xavier versus Will Ospreay. That's a match that anywhere in the world would be a main event, but they're not breaking out tables, ladders, and chairs and weed whackers and stuff. That is something that I wouldn't mind doing here, because there's an audience for it. Because that
Absolutely
guy that
there is. Absolutely there is.
That guy that goes, hey, that's bullshit, man. Why are they not doing that?
Fuck that guy.
No, that guy should watch this show and come out and enjoy professional wrestling, enjoy CZW, enjoy Smash. But there are people that want to see that. There
Yes.
are people that, obviously want to do certain things. Like here, look at our good friend here. Obviously there are people that want to wear big gold chains. I mean, and he is
No doubt.
proud to do that.
Solid steel chain. That's right.
Solid steel chain. I mean, it's very much to me as I think everybody has their taste. And it's like flavors of ice cream. I like to see that Baskin Robbins, because I don't want to go in there and be like, oh, they only got chocolate and vanilla. This sucks. I was really in the mood for some cookies and cream, and they don't have it. And then you can go into a place and you're like, wow, look at all the stuff they got. It just makes you feel a certain way, and you can go, I get this. So when you watch one of my shows, I want to try and deliver that. Now, obviously, there's limitations. You have building rules and government rules, and hey, we have budgets, and like we are running a business. But like, if you come to a show or you watch a show, even the shows today, obviously anybody gets to watch these shows, whether you watch them on the TV show or you watch them on DVD or VOD or whatever, you're going to go out there and you're going to notice my match was much different both days that we've been on the tour so far than anything else. I mean, I mean, you look here, I got a busted lip here. Nobody's out there doing that. Where, we opened the match or we opened the show and I kind of like peeking out the curtain going, oh, hey, what's going on? The next thing I know, they're all kissing out there. And I'm like, what the heck is this? But the crowd enjoys it. And there are people like, that was cool. That was fun. Just like if you see the high flying of guys like, Trey Magall and he's the Fresh Prince of Midair, and you see Myron Reed. These aren't the deathmatch wrestlers. Brandon Kirk, yeah, he's done this.
Yep.
DJ Hyde, yeah, he's done this. But Brandon Kirk went out there and did some, comedy type stuff and had a hard-hitting match. And that is something for everything feel, and I really think that, like, that perception of what people see us at, because we do it better than anybody else. When it comes to that genre of this great sport of ours, we are the kings. Tournament Death is the biggest deathmatch tournament there is. It's been around for 17
Absolutely.
years. There's nothing competing with it. Yes, people are drawing big crowds at other deathmatch tournaments, but this company made it. That Vice documentary was done on us. Those things you see in Japan, it's us. It's because we do it better, but we also have the experience. You know, we put in the work. I have a great team. I have a great medical staff. The guys know that, no matter what, we're not getting screwed. You know, no matter what, if something happens, CZW is going to take care of me, or I'll get looked after. And you give guys that opportunity, and they go out there and they deliver. They don't want to deliver just for the company, but they want to deliver for the people.
Yeah, and
it's
you
like that
been,
on all levels.
And you've been delivering this entire tour, and you touched on your matches going on over this tour. And how do you balance being a professional wrestler and being an owner at the same time?
To be honest, right now, my career is in a different perspective. I'm 40 years old. I have been wrestling for 20 years, roughly, almost 21. I've done the Japans. I've worked for WWE. I've been on television. I've won titles and all that stuff. It's really not about me anymore. Now it's I'm going to continue doing this, but it's more about the next generation and the guys that are coming along, in my training situation. Like, great example of something that just clicked in my mind. So David Starr posted a picture on his Instagram, and it was MJF, David Starr, and Adam Cole, and it said Legacy. And I wrote a comment. I said, DJ Hydes Legacy, and he called me and said, this is definitely your legacy, because they're my kids. They're kids that I've trained that you already know where they're all going to be.
Right.
And it's just watching that, or watching our Dojo Wars program, or our training facility program, where, like, the Dojo Wars program, you're watching guys. Now we have a new group called Young, Dumb, and Broke, where they're 19, 18-year-old kids that I've been working with. I had an idea for this September last year. I was like, I want to create this group that's like a new Special K type thing, and kind of fun, but more like SoundCloud rapping,
right.
And, Jordan Oliver is the leader of this group, and I went out there and I said, you know what, I'm going to give these kids a chance to succeed. I didn't plan on even giving them an opportunity until about October. And we ran an off show, kind of in a nightclub similar to where we ran today, and I put him out there, Rich Swann.
Wow.
And
Rich A.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, how are you going to get a better guy than that? And they went out and delivered. And now I'm kind of looking at it going, wow, this is the development of these guys. They did the work. Because not only was I like, okay, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm trying to guide them. I don't tell people I train people, because any of us can teach people how to do a wrestling move. It's not, yeah. You know how to do a wrist lock, right? Like, you can put a headlock on. He's right. He's a pro.
Kind of.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. He's definitely a professional wrestler. But like, you can't mentor these kids and guide them in the things that are in professional wrestling. I mean, even on this tour, we have a couple of our students. I mean, one of them is a girl, and her name's Layla Hirsch. She's been on a couple of CZW shows. I call her my protege. She is 5 foot tall, and God, she hits she hits as hard as I do. And you see the ability. It's mentoring her. It's more along, hey, here's what you're doing. There's a reason why she's on the ride. She said, I just want to sit in the car for 11 hours with you guys and just listen. And those are the things that are going to benefit a lot of these guys. And that's where what I'm trying to build for the future is going to come into play and keep us around for a very long time.
Absolutely.
So, no doubt.
Ahead.
Yeah, the CZW guys, loads of talent. You went on, we talked about that. Definitely, they represent themselves well, too. Set up, they had their own section at the merch table today. It was great. They were selling loads. You got the Shane O'Mac version of the CZW. Is that a ripoff of Shane O'Mac, or is that just you hanging on to your Little League career?
I don't know what you know much about DJ Hyde.
He doesn't know much about anything. Yeah, you might
I think it was
be
good.
careful about what you're saying
where
here.
the inspiration came from.
The inspiration for selling CZW merchandise is because it's baseball season. And
baseball season, isn't it? That's right.
Yeah, it's real popular. People like to play baseball around this time of year,
Wicked. This man's a genius, Scott.
We have, in the fall, we have football jerseys. Right now, we have, there's this big thing going on in Russia. I don't know if you heard about it. The World Cup.
Soccer, innit?
So we're selling soccer jerseys right now. And, people actually want to buy them. So, who would have thought?
We got to get Sebastian Suave to think like this guy, because he's a genius. And it sounds simple, but the man
Well,
He's killing it.
And we are getting pressed for time here, so I am going to ask one final question for you here. We won't take up too much more of your time. I'm enjoying this a lot, by the way. You have an obvious eye for talent. Proof is in the pudding in this tournament here. If I had to ask you, who's the one person who's the next big thing in professional wrestling, who is it?
Out of Smash or
in general?
Wow, that's a tough question. There's so many great, talented wrestlers, and out of the genre of this sport, it just depends on what you want to say is. Well, like if you're gonna go, oh well, guys that go to WWE. I mean, I will tell you that MJF has been with me for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 years, he won't be able to do this. He'll be on he's on national television now, and he's everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, you can easily say that, but right now I'm looking at the youth movement. I'm looking at a guy like Zachary Wentz, who is kind of been under the radar because of the guys that are his mentors, Jake and Dave Christ, and Jake and Dave have cultivated guys like them, and Trey and Myron, and their time is coming. So you're going to start seeing them become the guys that are, they're the PWG Tag Team Champions. They're flying all over the world. All of a sudden, you're starting to see them, their names. You're like, oh, who's this kid? Who's this kid? Who's this kid? You're going to start seeing that. I mean, even in the girls, I saw Tessa when she was 18. Tessa now is the WSU champion, which is my women's promotion, and now you're starting to see it. So now it's I'm out there on that great hunt for that. So there are so many people now that have that potential to really become a huge superstar in professional wrestling. And it's just a matter of we got to get them seen and get them over and get them opportunities. And, man, I could sit here and list so many people. I mean, even the Smash, guy wrestled today. I mean, Mr. Bennett, son of a never mind. I might have had a bloody mouth. But he's been wrestling a year and 4 months, and he's already in the ring with guys like me, and he's going toe-to-toe. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. And he's a guy that, a guy that I took in, Pepper Parks. He's a Pepper Parks student, and just kind of blew me away today. Because I was like, oh, how long after our match? It's like, oh, you've been wrestling 8-9 years. He's like, no, about a year, a little more. And I'm just like, what?
That's Kevin Blackwood. He's a vegan.
Yeah, he's a vegan.
He's a vegan.
Yeah, well, that's
vegan. He self-proclaims that's why he's better than a lot of people.
He just has a lot of tattoos. That's what I knew about him. And I kind of seen him, and people kind of said, hey, this kid's good. And I today was like, all right, I'm going to test this kid. Let's see what he's got. And he gave it right back. And it's just something where you start seeing that and go, okay, there's something to him, but you don't know what it is yet. You got to make them go out and do the work, and that's going to be the challenge with a lot of these guys if they go out and they do the work.
Well, the future is certainly bright for CZW, and the future is certainly bright for Smash Wrestling. I'm hoping this is not the last time CZW and Smash Wrestling do a collaboration, and I think the next time it happens, both companies are going to look very different.
I think we would agree on that, but hopefully we'll get to see that, and hopefully we can make this an annual presentation.
Well, DJ Hyde, thank you very much for joining us here on The Hangover. Fans, thank you for watching.
Dope.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.